I'm going to show you how to use a feature of your TI-80 whatever calculator that's very powerful for solving a variety of problems. And for some reason, math teachers don't usually teach about this. It's called the solver function. Here's how you get in it. First thing you want to do is click the math button, and then you choose option 0, which is solver. And you get this screen that says equation solver on the top, and then equation colon 0 equals. So every equation that you're going to solve in here has to be able to be placed in the form 0 equals. Just for practice, let's use the ideal gas equation, which is PV equals nRT. To place this in the form of something equal to 0, I'll go, first of all, alpha P times alpha V. I'm not sure if the times is really necessary, but I'm going to just be safe. And then minus alpha N times alpha R times alpha T. So now I have the equation P times V minus N times R times T equals 0, which is the ideal gas law. Now when I hit enter, what happens is I get a list of variables here. All of them are set equal to 0 here below the equation. And then below that, I have a boundary set up, which means where is it going to search for values? The default is -1 to the 99, or -1 times 10 to the 99 to +1 times 10 to the 99, which is pretty much the limit of the calculator's capability. But if you only want positive roots, for example, you will set the lower boundary to 0. Or if you only want negative ones, you could set the upper boundary to 0. Or you could set the boundaries wherever you want to search for meaningful values, which is sometimes important in science. Let's set this up first of all, because we know in the ideal gas law, R is always going to be the same value. So let's put that in there, 0.0821. And then let's pick some values. Let's say that the pressure is going to be 1 atmosphere, so we'll put 1 in there. Let's say the volume is 2.5 liters. And let's say we got 1 mole in this quantity, and we want to know what temperature that's going to be at. So we want temperature values that are positive, because kelvins are always positive. So one thing that I might want to do is change this to a 0, my lower boundary, so we'll only search for positive values for temperature. And then I have to enter a guess that has to be within the boundary. So I'm just going to put 1 in here. It doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it's in the boundary. Now, to make it search for an answer, I click alpha, and then enter, which is solve. It thinks for a little while, and then it spits out the value. And it turns out that 30.45 is the temperature you'd have to have, which is really, really cold. And that's how you work this. If you want to change another variable, let's say you want to leave it at that temperature and figure out what would be the pressure if you doubled the number of moles. Just change that to 2. Go up to pressure, and then when your cursor is sitting on pressure, do a solve for that. And just like you'd expect, the pressure doubles. So that's how you can use this kind of useful feature of your calculator.